The Eldom Empire celebrates the coming-of-age ceremony of its most beautiful princess. Every noble wants her attention. Even her younger brother, Rajef Hill, smiles warmly, kisses her hand, and praises her beauty. But behind the dazzling celebration lies a cruel truth. Beauty alone holds no power. In the novel, Kaina is beautiful but wicked and foolish. It's one of those cliché stories where everyone falls under the heroine Olivia's charm. Consumed by jealousy, Kaina becomes a pawn for her younger brother, Rajef, who wants Olivia for himself. If he can't have her, he'd rather see her dead. Following Rajef's manipulation, Kaina attempts to poison Olivia. She fails. The entire scheme is exposed, and Rajef immediately abandons her. Kaina desperately reminds him that she was the one who made him emperor. Rajef only laughs. He calls her his poor marionette. Betrayed by the only person she trusted, Kaina is sold to Viscount Gillian, where she meets a tragic end. Meanwhile, in the modern world, another woman finishes reading the novel. As she watches Kaina's miserable fate, she realizes their lives are almost identical. We're both puppets, used by other people. She remembers her manager speaking to her exactly the way Rajef spoke to Kaina. Then, in a parking lot, tragedy strikes. A former coworker fired after an adultery scandal after she inherited his project attacks and kills her. As her life slips away, one final thought crosses her mind. She and Kaina were destined for the exact same ending. But instead of dying, she opens her eyes inside Kaina Hill's body. The palace erupts into chaos as the servants realize the princess has awakened. After waking up, Kaina makes a shocking realization. Her modern life had actually been her second life, and after dying, she returned to her original body. As a maid tells her she survived being poisoned, Kaina's memories begin flooding back. She remembers drinking poisoned wine at the banquet, vomiting blood, and nearly dying. The servants are stunned. Instead of throwing a tantrum like the old Kaina, she's calm and composed. As they dress her, they endlessly praise her beauty. But Kaina can only smile. The old Kaina believed beauty was power, and it got her killed. This time, she knows the future. Her father, Emperor Esteban, is still alive, which means Rajef hasn't become emperor yet. If she wants to survive, she has to escape his control before it's too late. The simplest solution? Marriage. Not for love but to gain her freedom. Just then, Prince Rajef arrives. To everyone else, he looks like the perfect younger brother. Handsome, gentle, and caring. But Kaina knows the truth. He's the man who will kill their father, seize the throne, and use her as nothing more than a pawn. As Rajef asks about her condition, Kaina immediately notices his concern is fake. Rajef also senses something is different. The Kaina he knows should be panicking and demanding revenge. Instead, she's calm, making her impossible to read. Still, he brushes it off, believing she's just recovering. He promises to find whoever poisoned her and make them pay. Kaina calmly stops him. Rajef, stop looking for the culprit. He freezes. You nearly died. Kaina looks him straight in the eyes. Yes, I did almost die. Internally, she thinks, you're the one who put poison in my wine, Rajef. Rajef frowned. Are you afraid of retaliation? Don't worry. I'll protect you. Kaina looked at him calmly. Who is it that you want to pin the blame on? In reality, Rajef wanted to weaken the influence of House Cadre, the greatest obstacle standing between him and the throne. His plan was to frame Lord Gillian for poisoning Kaina, since Gillian's house served under House Cadre. That was why he had orchestrated Kaina's poisoning in the first place. But Kaina knew the future. She already knew his plan would end in failure. So she said, it's easy enough to cover up poison acquired from the black market. Flimsy evidence won't be enough. Rajef replied, you're not trying to stop me because of Raffaello Kidre, are you? Raffaello had once been Kaina's first love, but that no longer mattered. As you know, she continued, my maternal grandfather, Count Hamel, has ties to the black market. If House Kidre discovered that Rajef was framing one of its vassals, they would launch an investigation. That investigation would expose Count Hamel's illegal dealings in the black market, destroy House Hamel, and leave Rajef accused of fabricating the entire case. It will only backfire if you provoke House Cadre. Instead of destroying them, win them over. Rajef was stunned. For the first time, it felt as though he were speaking to a completely different person. Kaina continued, I want a new lady-in-waiting. Someone whose character is unblemished and who wouldn't put me in harm's way. What do you think of Lady Olivia Grace? Yes, she was the main heroine of the novel and the woman Rajef would eventually fall in love with. Kaina was certain he would fall for Olivia this time as well. Rajef asked, isn't she the girl sponsored by the Kidris? He couldn't understand it. Kaina had always disliked Olivia. What was she planning? Rajef could only stare at her. What exactly are you thinking? Instead of answering, Kaina slowly rose from the bed. You are my emperor. She gently kissed the back of his hand. Then she whispered, you are all I have. You're my little brother, the only family I have. Those were the same words she had always said to Rajef. A look of disgust crossed his face. He yanked his hand away. That's enough. He shivered. She has definitely lost her mind. Was getting poisoned that much of a shock? What are you scheming? He asked. Do you trust me? She replied. Deep down, Kaina knew the truth. If I'm married off to Viscount Gillian again, there's a chance I'll be imprisoned, abused, and eventually killed once more. She also knew that, for now, Rajef still needed her. And she intended to use that to her advantage. Rajef asked, what exactly is it that you want? Freedom. Let me marry the person I choose. That's the freedom I desire. Rajef burst into laughter. I will make you emperor, Kaina said. I'm certain you can accomplish it without my help, but you'll have to rely on other noble houses and share power with them. With my help, you can avoid that. Rajef laughed manically. Are you suggesting that you can do better than them? I don't expect you to trust me immediately. I only ask that you give it time. Before she could say another word, Kaina collapsed. Rajef caught her before she hit the floor. She was burning with fever. Why did she let herself get into such a state? Guards, he shouted. Call the physician. As Rajef looked down at the unconscious Kaina, her eyes slowly opened. With trembling fingers, she reached up and gently touched his face. You are a sweet child. Later, Rajef ordered his subordinate to compile a list of ruined nobles desperate enough to take the blame for money. He also ordered to tighten surveillance on Kaina and investigate Olivia Grace. The subordinate thinks he has never seen Rajef so unfocused. Rajef found himself replaying his conversation with Kaina. She had always been his puppet. But for the first time, he wondered if she had manipulated him instead. He dismissed the thought. Kaina wasn't clever enough for that. Perhaps someone had advised her. His thoughts then turned to the battle for the throne. 3 people stood in the line of succession: Rajef, Princess Kaina, and Easter Heinrich, the adopted son of the Grand Duke. Although House Heinrich lacked a legitimate imperial bloodline and carried an incurable hereditary disease, Easter had risen through sheer force. After capturing the Emperor's mistress, he blackmailed the Emperor into recognizing House Heinrich's claim to the throne, completely shifting the Empire's balance of power. Rajef clicked his tongue. He has no army of his own. He had planned to use Kaina to keep Easter in check. But she had changed. The empty, pleasure-seeking princess was gone. In her place stood someone calm, intelligent, someone whose piercing blue eyes unsettled even him. What should I do with you, Kaina? Soon, the man responsible for taking the blame for poisoning Kaina publicly confessed, claiming he had acted out of love. While the confession shocked the nobles, rumors spread that Princess Kaina remained in critical condition. When the news reached her that the culprit would be executed that day, Kaina simply thought. Rajef did exactly as she expected. 2 weeks had passed since the poisoning. She had recovered enough to move around again, but deliberately stayed out of sight to lower Rajef's guard. Meanwhile, the palace buzzed with political debate. Many nobles argued that Rajef deserved to become crown prince after solving the assassination case so quickly. Others opposed the idea, reminding everyone that the succession was still contested. One thing, however, was undeniable. Rajef's growing reputation had pushed Grand Duke Heinrich into an increasingly difficult position. As Rajeff's influence continued to rise, his political enemies grew desperate. To stop him from gaining more support, they decided to shift the empire's attention elsewhere. Soon, a gossip magazine published an article praising Princess Kaina's unmatched beauty. It called her a rose blooming among poisonous thorns, a beauty so captivating that it invited death itself. Kaina's maid informed her that everyone was eagerly awaiting her coming-of-age banquet. Many believed her engagement would soon be announced, with Lord Raffaello Kidre considered the obvious choice. Kaina calmly disagreed. She had already noticed the spies watching her. Every word she spoke would eventually reach Rajeff. Instead, she explained that such a marriage was unlikely because the emperor himself opposed it. If Raffaello became the emperor's son-in-law, House Kidre's influence would become far too powerful. The emperor's conflict with House Kidre was already well known. Looking back, Kaina realized Rajeff had never tolerated her feelings for Raffaello. Allowing their relationship had likely been nothing more than another way to humiliate House Kidre. She had spent years defying her father's wishes. It was time to correct that mistake. Open my wardrobe. Her coming-of-age banquet was approaching, and every dress had already been prepared. The maids dressed Kaina while showering her with compliments. Once, those words would have thrilled her. Now, she barely reacted. Only one lady-in-waiting noticed. Ever since the poisoning, Kaina had changed completely. Everyone else believed the princess had simply become gentler. She wasn't so sure. Watching Kaina closely, the maid silently concluded that the princess was no longer someone to underestimate. Kaina recognized her. Vera. Unlike the others, Vera was perceptive, sensible, and ambitious. Every other lady-in-waiting served Rajeff before they served Kaina. They were daughters of powerful noble families who would betray her the moment it benefited them. But Vera was different. I'll give you an opportunity, Vera. Then you can decide whether I'm worthy of serving. Kaina understood one thing better than anyone. If she truly wanted to live freely, determination alone wouldn't be enough. She needed loyal people. She needed wealth. She needed power. In her previous life, she had lived like a prisoner, believing everything around her belonged to her. In reality, she had been nothing more than a pawn, holding power she never truly possessed. Now she knew the truth. She refused to repeat the same mistake. I'm going to live my life my way. With her resolve strengthened, Kaina gave her next command. Prepare my carriage. I must have an audience with His Majesty. Kaina requested an audience with the emperor. The emperor was surprised by her unexpected visit. What a surprise to receive a visit from you unprompted. Kaina bowed respectfully. Your Majesty, there have been quite a few unsavory events as of late, because of me. I regret I've worried you, father. She assured him there was no need for concern. Rajeff will take care of the poisoning incident, so you need not be concerned. Privately, Kaina reminded herself. Rajeff must not be suspected. The emperor reflected on their relationship. A young, immature daughter and a father frustrated with her were bound to grow distant. But he also knew one thing. Rajeff was the one who had poisoned Kaina. The emperor considered helping her uncover the real culprit. Kaina gently stopped him. This incident is of little importance anyway. So I believe this is the best way to resolve it. I've failed to be a good daughter, but I ought to fulfill my role now at least. Rajeff is still a young child. Please go easy on him. The emperor was surprised. So she's aware that it was Rajeff's doing? Are the rumors that she's changed true? He smiled. I'm impressed. They do say that an emperor's children are born with dispositions worthy of their standing. I must reward you for your diligence. Then he changed the subject. Your coming-of-age ceremony is soon. Is it not? I must seek out a suitable marriage partner for you. The emperor asked Kaina if there was a young lord she had in mind. Kaina replied that Raffaello would naturally come to mind first, but she had never truly been meant to be with him. What she needed was the power of the Kidre dukedom on her side. The emperor, with a surprised look, asked, would you accept marrying someone else after chasing Raffaello for so long? She replied, as the imperial princess, I must not be swayed by my personal feelings. I will follow your wishes, father. The emperor was impressed. You keep surprising me today. The husband of the princess is no light matter. Let us take our time to deliberate. Kaina bowed respectfully. Yes, your majesty. Please excuse me then. After she left, the emperor remarked that age seemed to have finally set Kaina straight. He found it hard to believe that the once foolish princess had matured enough to protect her younger brother. He was also surprised that she herself had suggested considering other marriage candidates. Is Kaina no longer in love with Raffaello Kidre? Raffaello Kidre was known for his black hair and the distinctive red eyes of the Kidre family. Having fought on battlefields since childhood, his cold demeanor alone was enough to capture the hearts of countless noble ladies. Standing outside the emperor's room was Lord Raffaello Kidre. After seeing Kaina, he bowed. Greetings, your highness. She replied, Please rise, it's been a long time, Lord Kidre. Raffaello was surprised as she didn't refer to him as the usual Raffi. She asks whether you have come to see His Majesty? He replied yes, but I was told earlier that I should return later as His Majesty was napping. She analyzed deeply. Is the emperor refusing to meet him on purpose? Raffaello bowed and said, I wouldn't dare to interrupt His Majesty's sleep, so I will simply come back. As he begins to go, Kaina says, I know why you want to meet with His Majesty Raffaello. Raffaello was caught off guard. Kaina knows why I'm seeking an audience? She continued, I may be able to help. It's been a while, so won't you have a cup of tea with me before you go? Raffaello immediately realized what she meant. She's aware that I'm trying to escape the pressure from my house to marry. He couldn't understand her sudden change. How does Kaina think she can help? This isn't the same princess who constantly bothered me with her attempts to gain my interest. As he looked at her, he found her demeanor completely different. It was no longer that of an infatuated princess. She carried herself like a negotiator, or perhaps a schemer. Most unsettling of all were her eyes. They seemed to know everything. He accepted her request. Thank you for your invitation, Your Highness. Meanwhile, word spread through the palace that Lord Raffaello had come to the princess's palace. The maids whispered excitedly. So Lord Raffaello really came to the princess's palace? He looks as manly as always. It's been so long since they last talked. One of the maids suggested bringing Kaina her finest dress and heels. Kaina stopped her. I don't need to doll myself up. Just bring me comfortable clothes. When Raffaello saw her again, he was stunned. The princess who had always covered herself in extravagant finery to impress him now stood before him in a simple dress. He had never expected her to dress so plainly, nor had he ever thought she could be this dignified, or this beautiful. Even so, he reminded himself that it didn't matter. Kaina approached him gracefully. Apologies for the wait, Lord Kidre. Then, with a faint smile, she said, Now then, shall we discuss the matter of your marriage? Raffaello looked at Kaina with quiet curiosity. How did you know my family has been discussing my marriage? Kaina smiled. It wasn't difficult to guess. You're the heir to the empire's greatest military house after the imperial family. She studied him for a moment. And you don't seem eager to marry. She kept one thing to herself. She already knew about his misophobia, but revealing that would expose knowledge only his closest aides possessed in the original story. Instead, she explained, for the future Duke of House Kidre, there are only two ways to earn your vassal's trust: marry or prove yourself through your achievements. She met his gaze. Isn't that why you came to see His Majesty? To obtain military authority and prove your worth. Raffaello fell silent. She had seen straight through him. His parents were divorcing after his father, Leo Francis, committed adultery years ago. Once Raffaello inherited House Kidre, his mother planned to remove his father from the family for good. But another obstacle stood in his way. Rumors claimed he had no interest in women and would never produce an heir, causing many vassals to oppose his succession. The truth was different. At 23, Raffaello had never even held a woman's hand. Not because he disliked women, but because he suffered from severe misophobia. Even the slightest physical contact filled him with revulsion. Unable to endure a marriage, he chose another path. If he couldn't secure his position through marriage, he would earn it on the battlefield. I know why you came to see His Majesty, Kaina said. Raffaello nodded. You do. Unfortunately, I couldn't meet the emperor. That won't be necessary, Kaina replied. I'll handle it. Then she asked, did you bring everything I requested? Prepare Lord Kidri's tea strong. Then add milk and sugar. Raffaello frowned. Kaina laughed softly. It's my favorite whenever I'm too busy to eat. Try it. Though skeptical, he took a sip. His eyes widened. It's delicious. I'm glad you like it. Raffaello set down his cup. Forgive my boldness, but I hope I can drink this again someday. Then I'll give you the recipe before you leave. As he quietly finished the tea, an unfamiliar thought crossed his mind. Have I ever liked something this much before? For the first time in years. He wasn't sure. When Raffaello returned to the Kidre residence, his mother was already waiting. You're late. You should be at the Western Duchy by now. Mother? What brings you to the capital? She smiled. You're as cold as ever. Won't you at least offer your own mother some tea? Raffaello called for a servant. Bring tea and refreshments. He paused. No, brew 1 cup strong, with milk and sugar. His mother blinked. Milk? Since when do you drink your tea like that, Raffi? Raffaello glanced at the steaming cup. Starting today, apparently. She quickly revealed the real reason for her visit. Our estate has gone too long without a mistress. People are beginning to talk. So that's why you're here. Exactly. She laid several portraits before him. The first is Lady Dolores of Avon County. She praised Dolores's accomplishments before dismissing her. She faints at the sight of blood, and House Avon is buried in debt. She picked up the next portrait. Lady Rita of Brooklyn Viscounty. A skilled knight, but not suited to lead House Kidre. Her family also has a history of mental illness. Finally, she placed down the last portrait. Lady Olivia Grace of Grace Viscounty. Our house has supported the Grace family for years. You already know of her. She's intelligent, thoughtful, and exceptionally capable. Raffaello picked up the portrait. So, she's your choice? His mother nodded. She would make an excellent duchess. As Raffaello looked at Olivia's face, Kaina's words echoed in his mind. Lady Olivia is flawlessly beautiful and tenacious. She would be an excellent wife for you. And I hope you will keep in mind that I helped bring you two together. After leaving Kaina, Raffaello couldn't stop thinking about their conversation. Logically, he knew his mother was right. House Kidre needed a duchess. Yet, something still felt wrong. He couldn't imagine whispering words of love or showing anyone affection. No matter how often his mother insisted marriage was for the family's sake, his answer never changed. I have no interest in marrying. But another question lingered. How had Kaina known his family was discussing marriage? And why had she warned him? Unable to ignore his curiosity, he made up his mind. I must meet the princess again. Meanwhile, the ladies-in-waiting gathered over expensive tea and freshly baked cookies. Ever since the poisoning, Princess Kaina had changed completely. She no longer lost her temper over small mistakes and forgave them easily, making everyone's work much easier. One maid even laughed. Sometimes I almost feel grateful for that poison. Lydia Benjamin. Another maid glared at her. Why are you gossiping instead of cleaning Her Highness's bedchamber? Lydia scoffed. Who are you to order me around? She raised her chin proudly. I'm the daughter of House Benjamin. Then she smirked. Besides, none of us were chosen by Princess Kaina. Prince Rajef appointed every one of us. As long as he needs our families, he'll protect us. The others joined in, mocking Vera. You've changed lately. Has Her Highness's favor gone to your head? Princess Kaina only keeps us here so Prince Rajef can watch her. Just stay on Prince Rajef's good side. Stop making such a fuss. Vera clenched her fists. They're fools. As she walked away, one thought crossed her mind. I almost threw my lot in with that bunch of idiots. That would have been a disaster. I can't let my guard down. Princess Kaina won't overlook mistakes. Meanwhile, Kaina thought about the women serving in her palace. Every one of them dreamed of becoming Prince Rajef's wife, believing they alone could melt his cold heart. She called Annie. Annie bowed. Yes, Your Highness. Kaina smiled. You're a clever child. You chose the right side. She handed Annie a small pouch. A reward for your courage. Thank you, Your Highness. Annie hesitated before speaking. Your Highness. Lydia refused to clean your bedchamber today. Kaina quietly recalled Lydia. Proud, arrogant, foolish. Even in her previous life, Lydia had reported everything to Rajef while desperately trying to earn his affection. In the end, Rajef executed her without hesitation. Kaina looked out the window. Foolish Lydia. I hope you escape while you still can, before you end up in prison like I did. She then recalled the original story. Everything began when Raffaello proposed to Olivia. Now that House Kidre had begun discussing his marriage, their meeting wasn't far away. Before then, Kaina needed Olivia as her ally. But Olivia's family served House Kidre. If she made Rajef summon her, the Kidres would immediately become suspicious. The invitation had to come from the emperor. Even House Kidre couldn't refuse an imperial order. Annie. Yes, your highness. Kaina handed her a letter. Take this to the Moret Salon on Lawrence Street. I have a message to deliver. Before Annie could leave, another maid rushed inside, gasping for breath. Your highness. Please forgive me, it's urgent. She struggled to catch her breath. Prince Rajef is furious. His palace is in complete chaos again. Kaina froze. Rajef. Without another word, she hurried to his palace. Rajef's palace was in complete chaos. Furniture lay shattered across the room as he raged. Those insolent mongrels. After everything I've done, they betray me over a few worthless mines. He had also overheard nobles comparing him to Easter Heinrich, saying both were merely the sons of the emperor's mistresses. The rumor enraged him. I'm of the true imperial bloodline, unlike that vulgar Heinrich. When I become emperor, I'll kill every last one of them. Just then, Kaina arrived. The servants immediately stepped aside. She glanced around the ruined room. You all stood by and let it come to this? Then she turned to Rajef. What have you been hurt? Rajef's expression remained cold. Don't come any closer, sister. Kaina ignored him and stepped forward. But if I don't, you'll be all alone. I said don't dash. She gently cupped his face. Rajef froze. What? Kaina smiled softly. You'd be alone forever without me, my sweet brother. She examined the cut on his face. You really did get hurt. Oh dear, and on your handsome face. Still holding him, she asked. Have you calmed down now? Rajef's anger slowly faded. Yes, sister. Are you hurt anywhere else? No. I'm fine. Kaina carefully treated the cut. I hate seeing you injured. No matter how angry you are, don't risk yourself. Rajef lowered his gaze. I just heard news that made it impossible to stay calm. Kaina immediately understood. Easter Heinrich had stolen one of Rajef's vassals. Being compared to Heinrich had driven him into a rage. Despite everything he had done, he was still only a child who hadn't yet come of age. This child can be changed if he is nurtured with compassion. Then Kaina revealed her plan. There will be many nobles at my coming-of-age ceremony. Father has allowed me to choose my own husband. The news will soon spread through the nobility. She smiled. They'll think. If they can seduce the foolish princess, they can claim the throne. But unfortunately for them, I'll be too old to appear. While they wait for me, welcome them warmly. Use the opportunity to win them over. Rajef immediately understood. So I can reclaim the vassals Heinrich stole. It really is the perfect opportunity. He looked at Kaina in surprise. Are you really going to marry someone else? What about Raffaello? Kaina answered without hesitation. I won't deny that I desired Lord Kidre. Looking back, I can't be sure if it was truly love anymore. All emotions are subject to change, don't you think? Rumors quickly spread through high society. I heard Lord Kidre has received portraits of potential brides. It's the talk of the town. Has Princess Kaina said nothing? She used to favor him so much. Then the rumors must be true. The princess has completely lost interest in Raffaello. Another rumor soon followed. They say Lady Olivia's portrait was accepted by House Kidre. Olivia Grace quietly listened from a distance. A noblewoman approached her. Lady Olivia, do gatherings like this make you uncomfortable? Not at all, Olivia replied politely. I'm grateful to have been invited. Privately, she knew she wouldn't normally receive such an invitation. It had only come after word spread that House Kidre had accepted her portrait. The noblewoman smiled. I hear fortune has smiled upon you. If the marriage succeeds, it'll be the perfect revenge against Princess Kaina. She added that, as the eldest daughter of a poor family with many younger siblings, Olivia surely couldn't refuse such a match. Olivia simply laughed. Is that so? I wouldn't know. The surrounding nobles whispered. What was that reaction? What a shame. I was hoping for a scandal. Olivia quietly sighs in relief that the news of her appointment as Princess Kaina's lady-in-waiting has not leaked. She knows that the princess despises her, but still, she wants Olivia on her side. Why no? She recalled the recent events. Prince Rajef had asked her to serve Kaina. Almost immediately afterward, House Kidre requested her marriage portrait. The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. If she accepted both, House Kidre could mistake it for an alliance with Prince Rajef. One wrong decision could endanger her entire family. She still couldn't understand what Princess Kaina was planning. Just then, a maid dressed in black approached. My mistress asked me to deliver this. It was an unsealed letter with no crest or signature. Olivia frowned. Why should I read a letter from an unknown sender? The maid answered calmly. My mistress expected that. She asked me to tell you this. Clever Olivia. I'm sure you've questioned these recent events. This letter may answer them. Olivia immediately understood. Princess Kaina. She unfolded the letter. I'm sure your current situation has placed you in a difficult position. For now, wait. Don't draw attention to yourself. Stay as quiet as a mouse. It will greatly benefit your family. The next request will be sent soon. I eagerly await the day we meet. Olivia seemed surprised. What in the world is she thinking? Meanwhile, back at the Imperial Palace, a maid reported. Your Highness, Lord Raffaello has requested another audience. Kaina sighed. This makes the 5th time. Tell him I'm unwell and ask him to return another day. She asked. Who is Rajef meeting with now? Count Dominine. Kaina smiled. The owner of the Sapphire Mine. She thinks, I've given Rajef the perfect opportunity to win them over to his side. She then turned toward the kitchen. Annie blinked. Your Highness. Where are we going? To prepare refreshments for Rajef. What would you like to make? I'll make them myself. Why yourself? Kaina skillfully peeled and chopped apples, mixed the filling, and baked 2 apple pies. The kitchen staff watched in amazement. Impressive, Your Highness. Kaina smiled. I lived alone for years in my previous life, and my mother was an excellent baker. When the pies were finished, Annie asked, Why did you make 2? One is for all of you. For always preparing such wonderful meals. The head chef was deeply moved. Your Highness. My descendants will treasure this honor forever. Kaina laughed softly. It's nothing extraordinary. It may not compare to yours, but I hope you'll appreciate the thought. She pointed to the second pie. This one goes to Rajef. The ladies-in-waiting immediately rushed forward. I'll take it. Leave it to me. One of them grabbed the pie before anyone could stop her. The chef shouted. Wait. It's still hot. She tossed the pie into the air. Kaina's eyes widened as it flew toward her. Your Highness. The burning pie flew toward Kaina. Without hesitation, Lydia immediately fell to her knees. I've committed a grave sin. Please forgive me, Your Highness. Another lady-in-waiting cried out. Lydia, have you lost your mind? You injured the princess. You could be executed. Kaina remained calm. It's fine. After examining her hand, the physician said. Fortunately, the burn is minor. A few days of ointment will be enough. Kaina thanked him before turning to Lydia. It was my fault for taking the pie out too soon. There's no need to blame her. Lydia trembled. My deepest apologies, Your Highness. Kaina smiled. You're still young. Mistakes happen. She dismissed everyone so Lydia could rest. Vera couldn't understand. How can you be so lenient, Your Highness? Lydia will never make that mistake again. Kaina looked at her. You understand, don't you, Vera? My generosity isn't simple kindness. Vera fell silent. She knows. Princess Kaina has a much bigger plan. Kaina handed her the remaining pie. Take this to Rajef. Yes, Your Highness. As Vera left, she thought. Another test. When the pie arrived, Rajef frowned. Kaina made this herself? Yes, Your Highness. He examined it. It looks ordinary, but it smells wonderful. Ignoring his attendant's warning. Your Highness, you shouldn't eat something the princess prepared. Rajef took a bite. Delicious. It hasn't been long since I regained my appetite, but this is refreshing. What's this flavor besides apples? Her Highness added cinnamon. Cinnamon. A faint smile appeared. Kaina has shown me something new. I never thought a simple dessert could wash away my fatigue. I'd like to enjoy this with my sister. Then he asked, what is she doing now? Vera hesitated. There was an accident in the kitchen. Rajef froze. An accident? Without another word, he headed for Kaina's palace. The maids hurriedly bowed. We greet Your Highness. Whispers spread through the room. Why is the prince here? Is it because of what happened? Rajef silently surveyed the room. Luxurious furnishings. Rare tea. Expensive perfume. Even the ladies-in-waiting were enjoying refreshments they should never have had. Things he had never permitted. He spoke calmly. People make mistakes. His words stirred an old memory. As a child, the emperor had told him, you have no family, Rajef. Everything you possess exists because you're a prince. An illegitimate child can be cast aside at any moment. If you want the throne, if you want to survive, prove your worth. Fail, and your existence will be erased. That was how the emperor had raised him. The memory faded as Rajef held Lydia's shoulder. I have never heard of a royal family member getting burned by a maid. What do you have to say for yourself? Lydia starts trembling and replies, I beg for your forgiveness, Your Highness. It was a mistake. Princess Kaina has already forgiven me. Rajef shook her coldly. My sister is being too kind. You bastards are just like bugs around her. Will you realize your sins if I cut your arms off? Rajef assistant sighs, so I am going to see blood again today. No one can stop him now. He is in rage mode. Suddenly, the assistant sees Kaina. Just as Rajef stepped forward, Kaina placed a hand on his arm. That's enough. He froze. Sister. She smiled. Your concern makes me happy. I would have punished Lydia myself if I'd known you'd be this angry. Rajef looked at her bandaged hand. Injuring the imperial family is a serious crime. I'll execute her for you if you wish. It was only an accident. The wound is minor. It'll heal in a few days. Then she smiled. Feeling calmer now? Come. Let's have some tea. You really do show your concern in a frightening way. Did I scare you? Kaina smiled. Not at all. For a split second, Rajef saw something impossible. He and Kaina. Walking through the palace hand in hand as children. Young Kaina smiled at him. It was a forgotten childhood memory. As Kaina looked at Rajef, memories of her life surfaced. In her first life, the emperor had ignored her. Rajef had used her, then discarded her. She had never felt attached to her family. Even so, he was still my little brother. He couldn't have been born this twisted. Now she finally understood. The emperor had raised him with nothing but pressure and neglect, never once offering praise. Kaina looked at him gently. A child was forced to become cunning because he had no one to rely on. How lonely he must have been. If I cherish him, perhaps he'll change. She smiled. Did you like the pie I sent? Rajef nodded. Very much. I was surprised by how much I liked it. For a moment, I wondered if the palace chef had made it. Kaina laughed. Then I'll make it for you again. She turned to the servants. Bring the rest. We'll have it in the garden. Yes, Your Highness. As Rajef watched her, something stirred inside him. I've done countless things for the imperial family. Yet no one has ever praised me like this. Holding Kaina's hand, he felt strangely at peace. I've never felt this fulfilled. Not even after defeating Heinrich. He smiled to himself. Who would have thought I'd feel so comfortable around Kaina? Looking at her, he quietly admitted, I feel like I can finally breathe because you're here. For the first time. He no longer saw her as a puppet. She had become his only source of peace in the imperial palace. Kaina laughed softly. Your compliments become sweeter every day, Rajef. As the siblings walked away, the servants whispered, "How is the princess handling His Highness so easily?" Even His Majesty couldn't calm him. Watching from afar, the head steward frowned. "Princess Kaina is taming Rajef like a wild beast. I preferred him reckless. I'll have to keep an eye on the princess." Later, Kaina met the emperor. He asks how your injury is. She replies it's healing well. "Thank you for your concerns. I don't think I will get a scar, and Rajef often comes to check my condition." He gives her advice. "You can think of maids as just a subordinate working for your comfort, but you can be a real princess only if you tame them." She replied, "Like you tamed Rudin the butler?" The emperor laughed and replied, "Rudin has been the most reliable servant I have ever had in my life." Kaina nodded. "I'll remember that. Actually, I've been thinking of getting some new maids." In truth, replacing them had always been part of her plan, but revealing that too soon would make the emperor suspicious. Instead, she smiled innocently. "I'd like maids who know the latest fashions. I also want new dresses and jewelry, but I haven't left the palace in so long." She laughed. "I even made pudding yesterday. I must sound like an ignorant child." The emperor looked at her fondly. She was exactly the kind of daughter any father would adore. Then the butler says, "Princess's coming-of-age ceremony is near. She will need a chaperone before she is married." Every noble girl learns the post-marriage life from the chaperone before their marriage. But Kaina's nanny, Clarence Elbin, was exiled by the emperor a long time ago. The emperor frowned. "I never realized Kaina had no one left to rely on." After a long silence, he said, "I can't replace all of your maids, but I can lift Clarence Elbin's exile." Memories flooded her mind. Lady Elbin, the only person who truly cared for me. The closest thing I ever had to a mother. Suppressing her emotions, she bowed. "Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm sure Lady Elbin will be grateful." After leaving the audience chamber, Kaina reflected on the person whose requests she had rejected again and again. "I may have been too harsh." She stopped. Raffaello Kidre was waiting for her. "I never expected him to find me here." He bowed. "I, Raffaello Kidre, greet Your Highness." Kaina returned the greeting. "It's good to see you, Lord Kidre. Have you come to see His Majesty?" Raffaello met her gaze. "No. I came to see you, Princess Kaina." Kaina noticed Raffaello still spoke in the same awkward, confusing way as before. No wonder people always misunderstand him. As thanks for what had happened before, he presented her with a gift. A rare black tea set that could only be obtained at auction. Even wealthy nobles struggled to acquire one. Kaina smiled. "My information must have been useful if you've come to return the favor. It's a lovely day. Shall we take a walk through the garden?" Raffaello nodded. "Yes, Your Highness. I'll escort you." "You don't have to, but I will take you up on your offer." As they walked, Kaina asked, "I'm surprised you're willing to be alone with me. What if I cling to you again?" Raffaello answered honestly, "I don't think you would anymore." Kaina smiled. "You trust me already? You must have liked the information I gave you." Then she revealed the rest of her plan. The marriage proposals by the families that are falling into ruins will eventually be cancelled. Thus the remaining candidate will be Lady Olivia Grace. She's intelligent and would make an excellent bride. However, she'll soon become one of my ladies-in-waiting. When that happens, House Kidre will stop sponsoring House Grace, and the marriage talks will end. She smiled. "So congratulations on remaining unmarried, Lord Kidre." Raffaello looked at her. "Then why recommend Lady Olivia at all?" "I thought you disliked her." Kaina gazed ahead. "I did. But I've learned those feelings are meaningless. Dislike, resentment, envy, hatred, even love." Raffaello was stunned. "Has she really let go?" Kaina continued. "I've apologized before, but I wanted to do it properly. Please forgive everything I've done to you. I swear on my name as Princess Kaina Hill, I'll never treat you that way again." Raffaello looked at her quietly. "Your Highness, what do you gain from this?" Kaina smiled. "Something precious. Your trust, Lord Raffaello. In order to gain someone's trust, you have to let them gain something as well, whether something that is emotional or material. Now that Raffaello is touched emotionally, it's time to acquire his trust." Raffaello says, so you'll need my help someday. And this is your way of seeing whether you can trust me in return. Kaina smiled. You are indeed brilliant. As expected of Sir Ketteri. As he considered everything, one thing became clear. This isn't about the throne. If Kaina wanted Rajef to become emperor, winning over House Kidre alone was an inefficient strategy. Yet she had chosen him. Then this must be personal. He still found it difficult to trust her. She had pursued him for years. But the woman before him felt completely different. Her quiet confidence made her words impossible to dismiss. At last he bowed. I will trust your highness's vow. Kaina smiled. That won't be easy. But helping me won't put you at a disadvantage. Understood. Kaina turned. Shall we head back? We wouldn't want to start any rumors. As she took a step, she stumbled. Princess Kaina. Raffaello caught her just in time. Are you all right? Please be careful. She quickly stepped back. I'm fine. This is nothing. I just lost my footing because of my heels. Thank you, Lord Raffaello, but please don't worry. Privately, Kaina thought. I was trying so hard to avoid touching him. I can't lose his trust now. I still need his help to create my fake husband. As they resumed walking, Raffaello offered to escort her. You don't have to. He watched her quietly. She kept her distance and refused every excuse for physical contact. No one should know I dislike being touched. She's doing this on purpose, isn't she? He couldn't make sense of it. Can someone really change so completely? Looking at Kaina, another thought crossed his mind. She's become strangely mature, almost as if she'd lived another life. He quickly dismissed it. Impossible. Finally, he nodded. Very well. Please walk carefully. A moment later, as Kaina stepped onto the grass, Raffaello gently took her hand. Please forgive me, princess. I'll let go once we're past the grass. I'll make sure there aren't any bees. Kaina looked at him in surprise. But you're the one enduring this. Why? Just until we reach the entrance. She smiled. The rumor should be spreading by now. She had considered inviting him for tea, then remembered he disliked afternoon tea. I've already taken enough of your time. I should let you go. Raffaello blinked. She's dismissing me? I expected to spend the entire day here. He bowed. Not at all, Your Highness. Only then did Kaina notice. He was still holding her hand. He has mysophobia. Why hasn't he let go? Perhaps the gloves made it bearable. She hesitated. You really don't have to. Raffaello gently lifted her gloved hand. It's an honor, Your Highness. And I mean that. He found himself surprised. Why doesn't this bother me? Was it because she no longer clung to him? Or because he wanted to understand this new Kaina? Looking at her small hand, another thought crossed his mind. She always seemed so dignified. I never realized how fragile she was. After a moment, he let go. Kaina noticed his expression. Lord Kidre, is something wrong? He shook his head. No. Raffaello bowed. I'll await Your Highness's invitation. Kaina smiled. Safe travels, Lord Kidre. I'll send word soon. Just as he turned to leave. Sister. Kaina and Raffaello looked back. Rajef approached with a smile. I've been looking everywhere for you. His eyes shifted to Raffaello. And Lord Raffaello as well, I see. Raffaello bowed. I, Raffaello Kidre, greet you, Your Highness. Rajef smiled. Raise your head. I was hoping to have afternoon tea with my sister. But I didn't expect to find you here. Kaina quietly watched them. He probably came knowing that Raffaello is here. Rajef was very bothered by the fact that he didn't have military authority or the army. On the other hand, Easter Heinrich commands a few military families. It's obvious that Rajef would get antsy. However, even if those families combine their strength, they cannot be compared to Duke Ketteri. The Duke Ketteri family has been protecting the kingdom's borders. They are the elite among the elite soldiers. The family of the Duke Ketteri is the actual family that's protecting the kingdom. Rajef's greatest ally was House Evans, whose wealth came from its vast grain production. If House Evans and House Kidre joined forces, Rajef would gain both wealth and an army. That was exactly what he wanted. Sensing the moment, Kaina smiled. Oh dear, we were just about to part ways. She turned to Raffaello. It would have been nice to have tea together. Perhaps another time, Lord Kidre. Raffaello bowed. Yes, Your Highness. I bid you well. As he walked away, he glanced back once. Rajef then draped an arm around Kaina's waist and led her away. Elsewhere, a young noblewoman rushed home. Father, did His Highness really forgive me? Her father sighed in relief. Lord Evans has settled the matter. She smiled. That's a relief. Then she eagerly asked, when will House Evans recommend me to the Imperial Consort? Her father's expression hardened. Sir Evans has a daughter of his own. Why would he recommend you over her? Serving the princess is more than enough for our family. In order to become an Imperial Consort, you have to gain the prince's favor, but how did you end up making such a mistake? The young woman then described everything that had happened. My hand was also burned that time. She insisted Kaina had orchestrated the pie incident. According to her, the princess had deliberately stood near the hot pie and let the ladies-in-waiting turn against one another to win Rajef's sympathy. Her father remained unconvinced. I've heard the rumors. The princess has changed. She's suddenly become close to Prince Rajef. She may even be involving herself in the struggle for the throne. He gave his daughter a new order. Keep watching the princess. Find out who she meets. And inspect every gift sent to her. Meanwhile, Kaina reviewed the palace accounts. The entertainment budget had grown far beyond expectations. The ladies-in-waiting had been throwing frequent parties while she wasn't paying attention. Did I give them too much free time? Just then, a maid hurried in with refreshments. Your Highness, the ladies-in-waiting asked me to bring the cookies. Vera, who is standing next to the princess, asks, why are you here with this? What happened to ladies-in-waiting? The maid replied that they said that things would be fine since Miss Vera is here. She handed over the tray to Vera and left. When Vera saw the tray, her face turned pale. The tray contained almond cookies. Everyone knew Princess Kaina was severely allergic to nuts. How dare these ladies-in-waiting not even confirm this and send it to Her Highness? Kaina asks Vera what's wrong. Vera immediately spoke. Your Highness, these refreshments are wrong. I'll replace them at once. Kaina smiled. There's no need. Vera stared at her. Your Highness, those cookies contain nuts. Kaina nodded. Yes. If I eat one, it could kill me. Then she calmly picked up an almond cookie. They're exactly what I was hoping the ladies-in-waiting would send. Vera's heart pounded. Is she serious? Kaina smiled. I'm thinking of eating one, Vera. Kaina looked at Vera. Can you do it? She explained her plan. Vera would deliver refreshments to Rajef, leaving her unaware that Kaina had been served cookies containing nuts. After trusting her ladies-in-waiting, Kaina would collapse with no one else in the room. Then the maid that just came in will report the situation to the doctor, her father, and Rajef. But you will know nothing. The plan unfolded perfectly. After eating an almond cookie, Kaina suffered an allergic reaction and collapsed. The physician examined her. Fortunately, she only ate a small amount. She'll recover soon. But be careful. An allergy like this can be fatal. After the physician left, Rajef remained beside Kaina's bed. Then he turned to the ladies-in-waiting. So none of you checked the refreshments? And when the princess collapsed, why wasn't a single one of you with her? He smiled coldly. Why is everyone so silent? You are all supposed to guard the princess's bedroom, aren't you? This reminds me of another incident that happened in the palace years ago. A royal murdered through a nut allergy. He unsheathed his sword. It was the late empress, Princess Kaina's mother. The ladies-in-waiting immediately fell to their knees. Please spare us. One quickly pointed at Lydia. Lydia Benjamin ordered us to inspect all of the princess's gifts. She threatened to withhold our pay if we refused. Another nodded. If not for her, we would have stayed at our posts. Lydia was stunned. Not long ago, they praised me because of my family. Now they're abandoning me. Lydia screamed. It's a lie, Your Highness. Don't listen to them. This is a conspiracy. It must have been planted by a spy who wants to undermine your current power. Rajef, with his cold demeanor, steps forward. You are just making a fool of me and playing around. I suppose you are the spy then? Before anyone could speak again, the emperor arrives. Everyone bowed as the emperor entered. Rajef immediately knelt and put the sword on the ground. Long live the emperor. The emperor glanced at the sword on the floor. How pathetic. He calls for his butler, Rudin, and orders him to have every lady-in-waiting here flogged, expelled from the palace, and banished from the capital. His gaze shifted to Vera. This maid has behaved well, since she is the one Kaina cherishes. Until new attendants are chosen, she will oversee the princess's palace. Vera bowed deeply. I'll do my utmost, Your Majesty. I will select the new maids myself, so that this won't happen again. The emperor looked at the unconscious Kaina. First poison, then burns, and now this. Misfortune never leaves her. I overlooked the poisoning because Kaina turned it into an opportunity. But that bastard who made her drink poison is still here. The emperor turned to Rajef. Do you think I've remained silent because I know nothing? He spoke firmly. Until Prince Rajef repents for his wrongdoing, he will be on house arrest. Rajef lowered his head. I will do as Your Majesty wishes. The emperor turned back to Vera. Take good care of Kaina. The princess needs rest. After everyone left, Vera checked outside before returning. The room is empty, Your Highness. Kaina slowly opened her eyes. A faint smile crossed her face. Excellent work, Vera.
Kaina called Vera over. I know your family supports Rajef. Vera stiffened. Kaina continued. Serving me isn't betraying your family or the prince. On the contrary, you'll be helping him. I intend to make Rajef emperor. She looked directly at Vera. Rajef doesn't concern himself with small matters. He certainly won't worry about your family's noble title. But you do, don't you? Vera was speechless. Kaina continued. Your family tried to force you into marriage. So you ran away. Your future husband even planned to take your younger sisters as concubines. You wanted to earn a title and save them. And I can help you. Vera stared at her. Your Highness, how do you know all this? Kaina smiled. You don't have to worry anymore. Vera lowered her head. My father treats his daughters like property. But neither my sisters nor I deserve that. Kaina understood. Vera had entered the palace to protect herself and her siblings. In many ways, her struggle mirrored Kaina's own. Kaina gently patted her head. You've done well, Vera. And from now on, I'll protect you. Tears filled Vera's eyes. Princess Kaina. I, Vera, will devote myself to you forever. 3 hours later, the emperor asks his butler. How long has she been unconscious? 3 hours, Your Majesty. The physician warned that any further strain could be dangerous. The emperor frowned. Just then, a maid entered. Your Majesty, the nobles supporting Prince Rajef request an audience. Let them in. The nobles immediately pleaded. Your Majesty, please show mercy to His Highness, Rajef. The emperor's expression hardened. And where was your compassion for the princess? Do you know how much she suffered? One noble stepped forward. His Highness failed to control the ladies-in-waiting. We don't deny that. But this punishment is too severe. The others echoed him. Please reconsider, Your Majesty. The emperor remained silent. So the great noble houses have come to pressure me. Even an emperor cannot ignore all of them. The crown's strength depends on the nobility. Even so, to say that my punishment is too severe? It seems like they are no longer afraid of the sun. One of Rajef's followers quietly wondered, she is now rid of all the ladies-in-waiting in one go because of this incident. All of the Rajef followers have been gotten rid of. The prince's influence has been weakened, and he ended up receiving the emperor's rage all by himself. Kaina was the only one who lost nothing from this incident. No matter how hard I think about this, it still feels like we fell straight into Kaina's schemes. The truth is, it's to the extent that I have suspicions about whether she really ate the nuts. Despite that, she still gave us an opportunity to propose a petition. The follower requested the emperor. Your Majesty, please show consideration for His Highness and reconsider your order. The emperor replied, "It's so detestable to see all of you acting with one mind and purpose. Taking the princess's sincerity into account, I will reduce the prince's probation to just 10 days.